Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of Black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president.
My friend who's retired, I believe she's 67 now, just got her Medicare Advantage premium details for next year. And her out-of-pocket maximum expense went from $4,200 a year to over $10,000. So if she has some kind of emergency where she requires hospitalization or emergency room care on a retiree's income, she gets to pay up to $10,200. This is Republican policy. She lives in the state of Indiana. And this is what all the cuts to everything are doing, all the budget cuts to every state. And these are the decisions each state is making individually on what's going to be cut, who's going to have to pay more. And people think that there's going to be an end to this shutdown. You've got Caroline Leavitt lying, Donald Trump lying about all these people not getting paid, all of these layoffs. They don't give a rat's ass about layoffs. If they did, they would have cared about the 280,000 federal workers who lost their job because the guy who runs X and his little 19-year-olds wanted to give so much more money to the billionaire class in tax cuts that they just stuck it to all of us. They didn't care about those 280,000 employees, former employees. And now we're coming up to nearly 1 million Americans laid off because of the tariffs, because of all the funding cuts, because of all the deportations. Almost 1 million employees. They don't care about them. They don't care about them. And to think that Republicans actually believe this administration cares about the government workers being furloughed right now over this shutdown thing. Macro view. Project 2025 wants the Affordable Care Act completely dismantled. They're gutting it. This is on their way to doing that. Once it's gutted, there'll be no more government subsidies for any of us, meaning our tax dollars being pooled collectively and then dispersed to bring down our healthcare costs. No, instead, they're going to privatize everything. So their cronies are going to make a shit ton of money, starting companies that can fill the need or just giving contracts to the companies that already exist, all those MAGA donors. And nothing will be for us. Everything will be out of pocket. We are fucked. So this shutdown is not going to end because Republicans care about people being laid off or because they care about how much we're going to be paying for health care. So there you go. In the meanwhile, look for all your premium hikes next year. And now foreclosures, it was just announced, foreclosures are at an all-time high because people can't afford to live in their homes. It's all coming together swimmingly.
You see, when I was growing up as a kid, as a teenager, when I was in school, let me say that, in primary 1, primary 2, secondary, we had this one stereotype that a white person cannot have problems. A white person cannot cry, cannot go hungry, cannot lack money. That's what we were thinking here, back here in the motherland. For example, to be precise, in Kenya. Okay? And this is why They told the world that they have built heaven on earth, and we believed. They told everyone else to work harder, to imitate their system, and to follow their model. And that's why every time, even in school, our teachers were telling us that study hard so that you can go to America. Study hard, you can go to France, you can go to England. So we were like trying to perform well in school so that we can be like white people, you know? But right now, the same system is standing against their own. The system that told us that we are nothing is again turning to their own, and their own feel the same things that we were feeling. The pains, going hungry, walking barefoot, sleeping, you know. The empire they worshipped is eating its own children right now. And for the first time in modern history, white people are breaking down. Are breaking down in fear, are breaking down in confusion, are breaking down into realization. Okay? Family, I hope you are doing okay. Before I go into my video, I greet you with power, I greet you in truth, I greet you with love, because right today, I'm going to speak about the greatest irony in modern civilization. I know we all know that, but let's bring this in the limelight. How the very system that claimed to save the world is now collapsing under its own weight. Okay? So before I go down in the video, I have prepared some clips here. I want you to watch them from different people, white people, regretting, crying, and breaking down, because you want to know why. After watching these clips, let's continue watching, because I have more and more to tell you.
This is a message for my white lady friends. Everybody else can keep going. Ladies, now is not the time to crash out on this app, okay? I've seen 4 videos this morning of white ladies crying on this app and saying it's too much and they can't handle it. I know, okay? I know, I feel you. This is really hard. Communities of color have been warning us about exactly what is happening. Okay, you might not have processed that this was gonna happen, but they have. They've been processing it, they've been seeing it, and they've been trying to get our attention. We have not really been listening. If you're feeling like you're crashing out right now, you need to focus on yourself a little bit, because you can't help if you're not focused on taking care of your own mental and physical wellness, okay? So you need to, if you're freaking out and you're like, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't even know what to do right now, you need to hydrate, okay? You need to eat healthy food. You need to take a walk. You need to develop a meditation or prayer practice that helps provide you some calm and some grounding. You are not going to be any help if you are just spinning out. If you have ever posted a black square, okay, or if you have been talking about how you want to wear a blue bracelet to show you're one of the good ones, the first thing you need to do is like get your own house in order.
For everybody that is in LA and feeling frozen with fear and sadness because of these ICE raids, how can we help? Like, it's devastating to see these people's families ripped apart. It's devastating to see people being violent. It's devastating to see all the military vehicles around the entire city. It's devastating to drive down the street and see nobody on the road. Like, I have a loud mouth, I'm protesting, but like, what else can we do to help? Like, if you're one of my followers, I know there's a few of you in here that are close to what's going on, but please reach out to me and tell me that you're okay, because I want to help somehow. There are many people out here that want to help and we don't know what to do. Let us know how we can help you. It's just fucking terrible. Like, if you're a person that voted for Trump, how can you be okay with this? How can you be okay with having a president that creates chaos? And in the meantime, they're shipping tanks and all these military vehicles to Washington, D.C. for his stupid parade next Saturday. Like, this is insane, you guys. This is the United States of America. This is supposed to be the land of the free, and this is not free.
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new between the fucking news and the fucking stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country's fucked. Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are fucking getting ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I take care of my daughter. I take care of my wife. The best I can. I can't keep going. Every day it's something new. Then on top of that, as if you're not trying to spend money, you have to. Fucking everything's expensive. I own a painting company, I still can't fucking make it. I'm fucking trying, man.
Did you guys see the video of that white T man who he's like crying because he's like, it's so hard to make it. I'm trying. I'm a disappointment to my wife and it's so hard. And then he's like, we should all come together. I don't care whether you're black, white, we should all come together. Oh, I get it. So now it's switching and the curses are like coming on you guys, and you guys are experiencing what black Americans, the children of Israel, the real Jews from the same tribe as Jesus Christ, have been experiencing for centuries, right? So you guys were okay. As long as you guys were ahead of us, you guys were fine. You guys lived in perfect YT Jesus heaven on this earth, and everything was fine, and you were above the NIGGAs, right? So when you had your stature and your position, everything was fine. Now that it's switching, right? Because the Most High is propelling the real people, right? Now it's like, oh, let's come together, and you're crying, and it's us. Oh, so now it's us at the bottom versus them at the top, right? But you guys were in cahoots with those at the top because they look like you, right? And they gave, yeah, sure, you might haven't had as much as the people at the top, your people at the top have had, but you've had still tremendously amounts more than black people at the bottom. So now you guys see your reality. It's not what it once was. Your YT card is, it hasn't been accepted. It hasn't, that YT card, it's not working how it used to when you try to swipe it. It's not. You know what I mean? So now it's like, oh, now let's all come together and we're in this together and it's us against. No. Mm-mm. You can miss me with that. No. Any kingdom, there's people at the top and there's people at the bottom, right? So now black people, black Americans, and throughout the African diaspora, right? We're going to be at the top. You guys are going to be at the bottom now. This is how, in case you haven't realized, this is how this works. This is how this works. This is how you guys' kingdom worked. This is how it worked, right? So now it's switched. The first shot, see, y'all say y'all believe in the Bible, but at the end of the day, like, y'all always ignore that scripture. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. White tea people, weren't you guys at the top? Right? And we've been last. So now God says that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. This isn't the first figures out that the last are going to be first, and now the first want to come together now with the last. See, y'all just manipulate and do things because at the end of the day, y'all just want to be where the stuff is at because you guys are the fleshly people. You guys are the fleshly people. So wherever the stuff, y'all don't care about nothing else, right? As long as you guys enjoying your blessings and the stuff, that's what y'all want to be at. Okay, that's fine, right? I mean, you guys sold your freaking birthright for a bowl of soup, right? Some chicken tenders. You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau. That's what the white T man did. He sold his entire birthright for flesh. That scripture is symbolic that they are the fleshly people. You know what I mean? So no, this isn't money to waters, right? See that you guys are becoming undone. Now it's like, oh snap! Now let's get under them. Like no, y'all keep playing with the Most High like the Most High is stupid, and it's like, buddy, dude, get it together, dude, get it together. You guys had your turn. What you are best doing is accepting your fate, just accepting your position, and cleaving to the real children of Israel, right? Like this dude, literally, he was crying. Like this white TV man was crying his eyes out. Like, oh yeah, my family, and I'm a disappointment, and this. Find the video, it's online. It's like, nah, you guys are seeing what's happening now, right? Seeing that the devil lied to y'all. He lied to everybody, but he lied to y'all. He made y'all think y'all was something that y'all wasn't by exporting fake YT Jesus all over earth. He did that. Don't blame us. Don't blame us.
Hey everyone, well, I am stopping by the grocery store to pick up a few things, and I just want to spend a moment talking about the affordability crisis, because right now the cost of living is completely out of control, and we know that things are only going to get worse with all of these tariffs that the president is putting out there. And you know, let's all be real, I think we all know that the president probably hasn't been shopping in a while, if ever, and so he has no idea what he's doing and how it's impacting the American people. And all you have to do is go grocery shopping and see what's going on. I mean, the cost of eggs, the cost of milk, everything is sky high right now. And I mean, we're talking about everything. We're talking about the cost of our utilities, the cost of housing, and on top of that, they're talking about cutting basic programs that help our people. We're talking about programs that help you pay your bills, like LIHEAP, which helps with heating costs. We're talking about Medicaid that helps with healthcare costs. We're talking about SNAP benefits that help you actually go grocery shopping. We're talking about housing programs that help our low-income families, and they're attacking programs that you spent your whole life actually paying into, like Social Security. And so I think we're at a potential crisis moment for the cost of living. And I mean, guys, look at this. Is the cost of eggs right now. I mean, this is outrageous. This is at my neighborhood grocery store in Albuquerque. $8.49 a carton. $12.49 in the carton next to it. I mean, we have to do something. So it's so important that we continue to have our voices heard, that we continue to speak up, speak out, speak against what's happening, make sure that our representatives know that the affordability crisis is real. We need to be investing in affordable housing. We need to be supporting families who need extra help. We need to be addressing the cost of living in our groceries, not supporting ridiculous tariffs that are just going to make things worse. So we are fighting for our people, fighting to protect these vital programs and to ensure that all of us can afford to live in this great country of ours and continue to support our families. So I will see you all later. I'm going to go get some more groceries, and I love you all, and I'll see you soon.
Brethren, the Western world for centuries, like America and Europe, they painted themselves as the guardians of progress. And they told everyone that, for example, they told black people and other communities that they are the most advanced societies in the earth. They said their economy model was perfect, their culture was superior, and their system were the destiny of all humanity. But something is happening. Right now, the records tells a different story. Okay? Inflation is rising faster than wages. Homelessness is visible in every corner in their countries. Debt has become a lifestyle. You know, personally, I never knew that white people could protest. Why would they protest and they have everything perfect? I never knew that. But right now we are seeing white folks protesting. Our brothers and sisters are protesting each and every corner. Why? Why? Because things are not going okay. The system has turned against them. Because they didn't build a system of prosperity, but they built a system of control. Because a system that feeds off others, until there's nothing to left, it will start feeding on their own. For years, the Western economy thrived by exploitation from African minerals. The economy of the Western countries thrived because of the Asians' labor, because of Latin America's resources. But right now, that the rest of the world is waking up, the rest of the world is saying no more exploitation. Now the Western machine has lost its fuel. Okay? It has lost its fuel, and they don't know how to survive without exploitation anymore. And that's why all the privileges have gone down. So when the privileges go down, they start realizing what black people are going through. When the fuel goes down, now white people right now are living the world that black people lived for 400 years. In Africa, let me not say all Africa. For example, in Kenya, in my area town, you could hear people have gone, because we believed people go with 3 meals a day, but you could hear people going with only 1 meal a day, and that's only night. So as black people, as Africans, we were surviving, we were not living, and this was the consequences of colonization. They left scars and poverty to our countries. But right now, even white people themselves, they are living how we were living. They are lacking school fees, they are lacking food, they are living outside. They laughed at Africans saying that we are living in wilderness, in forest, that we have built our houses on top of trees. But right now, even white people are sleeping outside because they can't pay rent anymore. You see? So you can never keep pretending forever that debt is wealth. No. You can't. You can never pretend forever that dominance is freedom and that privilege is happiness. Sooner or later, the illusion cracks. For example, in South Africa, the white South Africa had privilege over black South Africans. But when black South Africans took power, everything became equal because black people did not revenge. But white people could not stand seeing that they are being led by a white person. They could not stand sharing equal rights with black people. Okay? And you see it in their eyes right now. You can hear it in their voices. A generation raised to believe in the dream is now waking up to a nightmare. White Americans are facing eviction notices. Europeans are losing power in their own countries. The dollar is trembling. The world is de-dollarizing. And the military system that once ruled the planet is being reduced to begging its citizens to trust the process. But the people don't trust anymore. Their people don't trust anymore because the dream has betrayed them. Okay? We have some reverse policies and karma in action that's happening right now because for decades the West used policies to control others. They used sanctions, they used trade restrictions and debt traps. They call it foreign policy. But what we are seeing right now is a reverse policy karma. Okay? Now, how? They once say that they'll punish countries that they don't comply. For example, when South Africa was going with the, US put sanctions on South Africa. So that's punishing because that country do not obey. And now they're punishing themselves. Okay? They banned Russian oil. Now they're freezing in winter. They sanctioned foreign factories and now they can't produce anything domestically. They chase cheap labor overseas. And now their own youths have no jobs. So every action has a repercussion. Every imbalance corrects itself in time. You can't build a global economy based on greed and expect peace at home. No. It's poetic justice. Not because we celebrate their suffering, but because truth always comes full circle. So the same Western governments that once bragged about their strong economies are now struggling to feed their people. The same nations that mocked Africa for instability are now facing riots, are now facing food shortages, are now facing leadership chaos. Okay? It's no longer an African issue. And it's no longer African asking aid. The West are asking for patience too. So, reverse policies are hitting hard because the world has changed. Africa, Asia, and Global South have started building their own trade alliances, have started building their own currencies and other own future without Western approval. So when the West tries to flex in power, there's nothing left to dominate. You can't dominate anything. Okay? All this privilege they were like, we have privilege. It was only illusion. It was illusion of privilege. Because for generation, the Western system convinced white citizens that they are better, okay? That they are safe, that they will never suffer like others. We were being called others. So that was the foundation of the illusion, the myth of privilege. And it worked. It worked for centuries. Because if you keep one group believing that they are above struggle, they will never question who is controlling them. But when the system collapses, that illusion becomes a curse. But right now, the same white middle class that once looked down on others are realizing that they were never the owners, that they were just better paid slaves, you know, and better slaves living in a better houses. They are realizing that their loyalty to the system didn't buy them protection, but it bought them silence. Now, think about it. Think about this for a moment. They defended capitalism like it was religion. They believed the government cared about their prosperity, and they trusted the same politician who shipped their jobs overseas. And now, what's happening right now? They are standing in unemployment lines. They are crying about rent. They are realizing that the system doesn't care what color you are, you know. When you don't do something for the system doesn't care about you anymore. So it was the illusion of privilege. And this illusion of privilege is breaking. And for the first time, white people are feeling what it means to be disposable in their own system. Allow me to say, white people are the new blacks of today. Are the new black people. As we say, Africa, African dream is the new American dream. Okay? Now, white people are seeing what black people have seen. I always say this. Black people have lived on this movie. We have watched with this movie. Not only watching, but we have acted in this movie. We have been villains and we have been starring on these movies. So we are the movie. We have lived it for centuries. And right now is the time that white people are living in this movie. So it is hard on them. You waking up as a kid, a rich kid, and then your fathers, for example, in Kenya right now, Raila Odinga has died. And we all call him Baba. Baba in English is father. He was father of everyone. He was father of democracy in Kenya. Now, when he has died once, that's now Kenyans will start living a reality where there's no one fighting for them again. Because we were in comfort zone. We had the privilege of having this one man, Raila Odinga, fighting for us. And now it's no more. What else? Back to the drawing board. Now we are starting to say, okay, where can we switch on? Where can we switch off? Okay, oh, mama, what will I do? Now, it is confusing. You are crying. You are not crying because this guy is your father, but you are crying because you don't know where the government will go next. And that's what white people are going through right now. The privilege has gone down. Africa is rising. Black people are saying no more. We are starting loving ourselves. We're starting having confidence in our own. So right now, black people are not thinking like white people are the gods again. Because back then we are seeing white people and we are like, oh, Mzungu. And we are like, we want to touch him. This is God. But right now, there is no God. We know we are the gods. As a black man, you know you are the God. Black women have started realizing their worth. They are not again used as tools and objects. So the privilege is down. Now what next? What next? They had comfort, they had illusion, but they never had freedom. Now, because freedom built on oppression is not real, it is borrowed time. Okay? And that time has expired. It has expired. Now, I'll talk about the death of American dream because the phrase American dream once impressed with men, even us black people, we are embracing it. And it was once echoed through every movie, every classroom, every campaign speech. It was a promise that anyone, Okay? No matter where you came from, you could climb to the top. When you work hard and study hard, you could climb to the ladder. But that American dream was not for everyone. Even white people, that American dream was not there. The dream was never about freedom. The dream was just about participation in a system that polarized, or in a system that profited from endless work. Okay? So they called it opportunity, but when you look closer, it was not an opportunity. It was It was something engineered it was an engineered exhaustion, like a worker chasing bills is easier to control than a thinker chasing truth. American dream could never let you create. They just tell you, study hard, work hard. Now, what made this American dream not work? Because when they tell you study hard, your brain is there. I want to study hard. I want to get papers and go somewhere. And then they will give you student loan. Then when you have debt, when you finish that study, you go and get an employment. You live as a slave trying to pay your loan. And then when you are out there, they give you house, pay mortgage, that's a loan. They give you car with another loan. Now you are a slave, but you don't know. You think you are living okay, just driving big machine, living in a good house. But at the end of the day, you are a slave indirectly. And it's better a black slave who knew that he doesn't have anything than you that you think you have all, but you don't have anything. Okay? So, dakika ngapi? 16. So, I'll say this. Today, millions of white Americans are realizing that the dream has expired. And that's why they are packing their bags. They are moving out of their own lands, Students' loans are lifelong shackles. Mortgages are stretched past retirement. You have retired, but you haven't paid your mortgage. So they can't even rest in the land that sold them comfort. So every era built its myth. And for centuries, American myth was progress, that tomorrow will be better. But what happens when tomorrow keeps getting worse? When wages freeze? What happens when prices soar? That's why they are shedding tears. They don't know what to do. They were sold, or they were told, go to college and you'll make it. They were told, buy a house, you'll be successful. And now homeowners live like tenants of the bank. Every day, every end month, you are at the bank trying to pay this debt. You are just a tenant. Okay? So the American dream was a script written by advertisers and bankers. So it kept the population docile, hopeful enough to keep working, but too afraid to rebel. And right now, that illusion is collapsing. It's collapsing in real time. One black American, my friend, told me, I want to come to the motherland, but I have a problem. I have a debt. I have to pay it off. $10,000, I have to pay it off so that I can be free. So when you have a debt, you can't be free. You can't just decide, you know what, I'm going to the motherland. And I think that's why a lot of black Americans are not getting enough time, or they can't even relocate here, because these loans, it is engaging them somewhere. Now, the system has turned on its own. Father is eating his kids. Okay? Every empire eventually eats its own citizens. I don't know what transpired to for example, my American brothers and sisters. They didn't realize this early, but black people have been telling them for numbers. Our black great thinkers like Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, MLK Jr., Martin Luther King, they have been saying this, that one day the chickens will return home. And history is a pattern. It always repeats itself. They could just see this example. Rome taxed itself into a villain. Britain drained its colonies until it starved its workers. And now America is collapsing under corporate cannibalism, And And for decades, the Western citizens believed the government existed to protect them, but the government and corporation merged long ago. The same companies that lobby for war and now sell medicine, the same banks that caused the 2008 crisis, if you heard about that, and now handle people's retirement, the same billionaires who promised jobs are automating them away. They are creating AI. They are creating robots. So where will you get that job when robot is working? Where? So this is in conspiracy. This is arithmetic. When profit is God, humanity becomes a tool. And tools are discarded once they are worn out. So now the white middle class, once the system favorite, they are finding themselves being targeted, you know? And they are being targeted because automation have erased what we call automation have erased manufacturing jobs. Okay? AI threatens offices. Now, right now, everyone is just on AI. Okay, I want to do something on AI. Now, if AI is replacing your secretary jobs, the secretariat job, what will you do? Listen carefully to the news right now. They will say that the economy is growing, but what they mean is the stock market is fine. They don't mean that you are fine. Right now, for example, here in Kenya, when they tell me that economy is good, they are saying the currency, Kenyan currency, is doing okay. They are not saying that now I'm having food on my table. They are not saying that they are giving me free education. They are not saying that the health is free or the health is cheap. It is their economy is doing good. The dollar is doing good on them. The stock market is doing good. But the stock market is doing good, but you are still going hungry. The stock market is doing good, but you're still having these student loans. We need to wake up. Growth means nothing when you live paycheck to paycheck. Growth means nothing when your paycheck buys less every month. Progress means nothing when your kids inherit despair. The government president will come and say, you know what, our economy is stable and doing okay. But you are still living in 1 meal a day. So we need to wake up. And this is why people are snapping. You see viral videos right now of white men crying in their cars after being laid off. You see white women recording themselves saying that I can't do anymore. The illusion of control has evaporated. You know, the emotional breakdown is not weakness. They are awakening. But they are awakening in a time where they don't know what to do. As I told you earlier, black people have lived in this time for 400 years. Our ancestors lived on this. Black people of today are living on this. They are facing police brutality. They are facing all the kind of things, inequality and everything. But now white people are coming to this world. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. Just yawning, I was sorry. Now, they were told the lies of freedom and security, you know. But I don't know if that was a reality. Their version of freedom was always transactional. It meant you are free as long as you can pay. Free as long as you obey. Free as long as you are productive. And that's why Africans who went to diaspora or Asians or Latinos, they tend to be close to white people. They whitened themselves. They were told, you know, these black Americans are not good people because they are not obedient. So what do you have to do so that you can live good in this country? Be obedient, put your head low, and work hard. But right now, everyone is waking up and there's no freedom. That's not the freedom. Okay? That is not freedom. No. Now, I will say this. Yes, they are crying. White people are crying because they have reached the end of the illusion and they see their wealth couldn't buy peace and their gadget couldn't buy happiness and their government couldn't buy honesty. And the collapse of freedom, the collapse of security isn't just economic, but it is psychological. This is a psychological war. It's a mental illness and it's bad. You know, as black people, you know, whatever you have gone through and you have won, the ones who had privilege are now going through it. You know how hard it is. Okay? So, if you resonate with my message today, I'll humbly ask you, please, to share this message. Comment down there and like this video. Even if you forget to subscribe, make sure you just comment, like, and share to the people who think needs to hear this message. Until next episode, peace out.